has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
But I'd like to start this off by asking you, Vishnu, what you think about the whole question of India not having stealth fighters right now.
It's a huge
Everyone's
problem.
trying to sell them to us as well.
It's a huge problem, Shiv. Let's face it, in as much as we love the Rafale aircraft and the Indian Air Force is completely vouching for it, perhaps they'd like more than 100 more. The Indian Navy has just gotten into an order for 26 Rafale M aircraft. There is a generation gap between the Rafale and the stealth. There is a good reason why a stealth platform is called a 5th generation aircraft and a Rafale is a 4th or 4.5 generation aircraft, and that is low observability. So in as much as the Rafale has brilliant sensors, both in terms of its radar, its defensive suite, its electronic warfare suite, its towed array decoy system, it is not typically a low observability platform in quite the same manner in which a stealth aircraft is. Its design form is different. And therefore, if Pakistan does have low observable aircraft, which would be the J-35, in fact, the first ones might even start entering service or coming into the PAF ahead of entering service at some time this year, then India is in trouble.
So
why?
this year? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first could actually start coming in this year. They're really pushing for it. And they've gotten apparently into some agreement with the Chinese to ensure that the funding is done on very loose and terms favorable to Pakistan, as has been in the case in the past. If Pakistan starts acquiring low platforms which are low observable, in other words, stealth platforms, then that's an additional headache for the Indian Air Force, because tracking stealth aircraft requires a certain specialization. It's much more difficult. The time that you have to actually engage a potential stealth target is reduced greatly, and therefore, it's a problem. Well, in the latest episode of Control All Defense, we are talking about a platform that all of you want to hear about, the Tejas. The big question, we do know it's a great platform, but is it of use for the Indian Air Force going into the future? How relevant will it remain?
Very good evening and welcome to NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. It's time for Nationwide at 6 on the broadcast. 3 top stories that we will be focusing on during the next 1 hour. Let me first very quickly tell you the pressure, sustained pressure of NDTV. Now at least even the alliance partners, the opposition, everybody is unanimous that action should be taken against the thug rogue MLAs of the Shinde Sena. The man, Sanjay Gaikwad, who was seen beating up, on camera, a canteen employee. Why no action against him? We'll still, in fact, keep our focus on this. There is another, the Shinde Sena MLA, Sanjay Sirsat, whose video had gone viral. Why shouldn't he be treated as any other common Indian if in your room there was a bag full of cash? We'll also then later talk about digital arrest. The menace grows. A man has been pushed to his death. Despite all that is happening, all the awareness campaign, it seems that there is still much more that needs to be done to curb the menace of digital arrest. And the Supreme Court has now spoken, as far as the right for people to feed stray animals are concerned, especially the dogs. That is going to be our third important story this evening. Dogs gone astray, how the increasing number of stray dog attacks on people has bring the spotlight back on the problem and, of course, the discussion on solutions. Let's start with our top focus at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, with, in fact, two images. Both these people, MLAs, members of the Shinde Sena in Maharashtra. MLA Sanjay Gaikwad, using all his might, beating up a man We showed you that story. We continued with that story. We demanded action. We demand accountability. If it was you, would the police have done the same, what they are doing? Treating Sanjay Gaikwad with kid gloves? And then, this man still goes on, on camera, says he will do it again. Is this the example? Is these the kind of netas that you expect, the MLAs that you elect? And on the other hand, another member of the Shinde Sena who has brought shame to his party. This man smoking casually, sitting in this room with a bag full of cash. Where did this money come from? He's facing an income tax notice on disproportionate assets, Sanjay Sirsat. But still, absolute stealth silence from Mr. Eknath Shinde about these two people, those who have brought such great laurels to his party. Both of them have brought shame, not only on Shiv Sena Shinde, but also on the entire polity. And it also raises the big question, if you are member of a ruling party, if you are a politician, if you are MLA or a minister, are there a different set of rules? Are there two rules, laws, as far as this country is concerned, in terms of governance? Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's very quickly bring you one by one. I want to first start with Sanjay Gaikwad. Sanjay Gaikwad, whatever he has done, the way he beat up people and the continuous campaign, even if the dal, which he says he was so angry because the dal which was served to him was not good, it was not fresh. Does it merit beating up people? And if it does, then is there any law in this country tomorrow, if whatever work the MLA has done in his constituency, if people don't like that, does that mean that he will start beating up people? That's the big question that we are raising at this moment. The question that is being asked, of course, is it so easy for people like him to get away? And on the other hand, the other one, Maharashtra Minister Sanjay Sirsat, who sparked a controversy after a video surfaced online allegedly showing him smoking in a private room with a bag full of cash. The footage went viral. And after that, the Income Tax Department has also sent him a notice. All right. Now, NDTV has been continuously raising, and putting a spotlight on both these cases. Now, the result of that is that the Sena MLAs have been named and shamed. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis assured action. Eknath Shinde also warned his MLAs to behave in this manner. And what now has happened is that the opposition has taken this up in a big way. Today, look at this. The Lungi and Banyan protest that took place outside the assembly today, all against these two MLAs, their high-handedness and the way they think they can get away. The opposition has been demanding action against them, and so are we here on NDTV. And the man who should be first taking action is Eknath Shinde, the Deputy Chief Minister. All these people, both of them, belong to his party. And NDTV, as we have promised you, will take those questions to those who matter. NDTV today tried to corner the Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde to question him why the arrest so far has not happened of the Shiv Sena MLA who beat up a person in the canteen. Why no action against the MLA who is sitting and flaunting wads of cash? Eknath Shinde, all he did was to run away from these questions. Take a look.
शिंदे साहब, संजय गायकवाड़ के ऊपर आज विपक्ष ने बहुत ज्यादा प्रोटेस्ट किया विधान भवन में। सर, एक बनियान लुंगी गैंग करके प्रोटेस्ट किया है।
Legislators of the opposition, the Mahavikas Aghadi, today staged a huge protest, a Lungi Banyan protest. And outside, this was symbolically because Sanjay Gaikwad, remember, was in a lungi and banyan when he decided that his martial arts skills needed to be shown, or needed to be the spotlight when he was beating up in a hostel. Now, video shows the leaders, including Shiv Sena, Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, leaders along with NCP and others of the opposition, including the Congress, raising their voice, asking for action against what they called the Gunda in Maharashtra.
एनडीटीवी का वीआईपी कल्चर को लेकर जो पूरे देश भर में जो उन्होंने एक मूवमेंट चालू की है, फिर वो के बाहर जाकर उन्होंने जो इस मुद्दे को छेड़ा है, मैं उसका स्वागत भी करता हूं। लोगों से चुनकर आए हुए और सत्ते में रहने वाले जो अगर लोग ही अगर ये करने लगे तो फिर एक प्रश्न चिन्ह लोगों के मन में निर्माण होता है, अरे बाबा ये क्या चल के आ रहा है, और यही राज्य की विधानसभा है क्या, यही लोक प्रतिनिधि है क्या, और उसमें देखने का दृष्टिकोण सबके बारे में ही हो जाता है। तो ये लोक प्रतिनिधि की कुछ मर्यादा होती है, और दुर्दैव की बात है कि सरकार उसमें उनको बढ़ोतरा दे रही है।
Now, even the BJP leaders, ministers in the government, they have also started acknowledging that what happened, what the Shinde Sena MLAs and ministers are doing is embarrassing for the government. Let's listen into some reactions.
उनके नेता कुछ करते नहीं है, ना मुख्यमंत्री एक्शन लेते हैं, वो कुछ करने वाले नहीं हैं। उधर जाके तो सब लोग को वो तो पवित्र करके लेते हैं। और दूसरी बात है, जिस कैंटीन वाले को मारा है, उस कैंटीन वाले को मारने के बाद उनका कैंटीन का परमिट रद्द किया, लेकिन जिसने किया उसके ऊपर कुछ कार्रवाई नहीं हुई।
देखिए, नितेश राणे जी ने जो वक्तव्य किया, मैं बार बार कहता हूँ कि मराठी भाषा को लेकर किया है कि मराठी भाषा सब तरफ सिखानी चाहिए। अब इस वक्तव्य को तोड़ मरोड़ करके लेना कोई अर्थ नहीं है। मराठी भाषा की बात करें तो मराठी भाषा सब तरफ सीखनी चाहिए, तो उन्होंने ये बोला होगा।
So, this, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment becomes the big focus here on NDTV, and should be, because these MLAs need to be taught a lesson that they are not above law. And at this moment, joining me is Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Shinde faction. Sir, thank you for speaking to me at this moment. Let me start by asking you, aren't you embarrassed about the behavior of these two people?
Ankit, let me tell you that what our MLA Sanjay Gaikwad ji did was absolutely wrong. And in the National Executive, Eknath Shinde ji, our top leader of the Shiv Sena, has clearly said that this kind of behavior will not be tolerated. And anyone who does such kind of behavior in the future or repeats this kind of behavior will have to lose his post, and stern action will be taken against him. So Shinde ji is very clear that whatever has happened there in the canteen regarding the food, there were democratic ways of protesting against the quality of the food, whether it is Mr. Gaikwad having it or another 1,000 people in the canteen having it. But this is no way how to treat a staffer or an individual and beat him up. And
Sir,
therefore,
I'm very happy that you are saying that, stern warning has been given. But let me ask you this. If tomorrow I would have gone to a restaurant and I did not like the food, and I would have started slapping, beating, harassing the staff there, do you think I will get this opportunity to be, the police will not arrest me immediately? I will get this opportunity to be told that next time if you do this, we will take action against you. Don't you think it's hypocrisy? The message that you are sending out is, if you are an MLA of the Shinde Sena, you can get away by taking law in your own hands.
not at all, Ankit. The law is above everyone else. And whether it is an MLA or an individual, very sure that anyone who does such an action, he will have to face the penalty and the consequences. But however, let me also tell you, let me also tell you, there is no complaint registered against Mr. Gaikwad by the canteen owner. If at all the canteen owner had registered a complaint, then it would have been a different process.
Do you see, sir, how problematic is what you are saying at this moment? In the same canteen, your MLA beats up somebody, comes on NDTV's camera, said, I will do it again, because he knows that the might of the system is behind him. Do you expect in such manner that, the canteen owner or the one who's running the canteen will have the guts to go across and register a complaint? Should the police not be taking a suo moto action in this?
Ankit, if the MLA has said that he will do it again, it is absolutely, absolutely wrong. However, in our meeting day 4 yesterday, in front of the entire national executive, where Eknath Shinde was present, he has ensured and told everyone such kind of act should not be repeated. And
Why
therefore,
should he stay? Why should he stay in your party, sir? Why don't you, in fact, take an action and set an example? Imagine if people of his constituency are not happy with the work that he's doing. If they start beating him up, will that be justifiable?
no, nothing is justifiable, and we are not trying to justify him also. But he has got the warning from Mr. Eknath Shinde that such an act should not be repeated, and he has been silent after that. He has not said anything regarding this issue.
Sir,
after
tell me
that.
one thing. Should the police take action against him or not? If he was not an MLA of Shinde Sena, don't you think that action would have been taken by now by the police?
Ankit, if any case is registered against him by anybody, then the action can be taken. But I do not think the police can take any action if no complaint is registered against anybody, even if it's an MLA. However, I would like to congratulate NDTV for having such an impact, because all the three subjects you are showing today, which I just saw on the screen, are extremely people conscious, and we need to bring this kind of awareness before the people. And therefore, I congratulate your channel for such a...
While I appreciate what you are saying to us, sir, but I'm hoping that your party is going to set an example. What you are saying that no complaint has been registered so far, it also tells you the fear that a common person lives in when it comes to a case of a VVIP or somebody who is an MLA. They think that the system is already stacked against them. There needs to be suo motu
I just need a minute from you. I just need a minute from you. While we are not defending our MLA at all and saying that what he did was wrong, there are people also from the Uddhav Thackeray party who just 3 days ago in Mira Road beat up people. Are they taking action against those people? No. But we are taking action against our MLA.
You're not taking any action, sir. That's the problem. We are highlighting those issues as well. We have been continuously highlighting the way Gundaism of the MNS is going on, or the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray, when it comes to the Hindi imposition. And similarly, we will want, in fact, the government of Maharashtra. You are part of government of Maharashtra. The police comes under the government of Maharashtra. You need to set an example as far as Gaikwad is concerned. Until the time he's not arrested, or at least action is not taken against him, both within the party and by the police in Maharashtra, we will continue this campaign. I appreciate you joining me at this moment on the broadcast. I have to move on at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we have been, as I said, we promise you, at least the Shiv Sena Shinde, right now, there is a reflection that this should not happen. But this is just PR management or headline management. And we will not leave this story till the time an example is made out of this man and Sanjay Sirsat. If you would have been the common man in both these situations, by now, you would have been behind bars, possibly with the police taking action against you, even at the drop of that hat, or even if you would have thought of beating somebody up. All right, there is some breaking news coming in at this moment. There has been, whether you want to call it a joke or not, but a huge offer from the Chief Minister of Maharashtra to Uddhav Thackeray. It was sort of a banter that took place between them, a light-hearted moment where the Chief Minister told Mr. Thackeray that till 2029, there is no opportunity as far as his party is concerned, and the only way he can try and come towards the ruling side is by joining hands with Devendra Fadnavis and the Vikas Agari. The Chief Minister's open offer to Uddhav Thackeray. The exchange took place in the Legislative Council. Now, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, in fact, has spoken on this and said it is a joke and that's how it should be treated.
पळवापळवी करतात म्हणून उद्धवजी आता उद्धवजी 29 पर्यंत तर काही स्कोप नाही. पण ऐका 29 पर्यंत आम्हाला तिकडे याचा स्कोप उरला नाही. 29 तुम्हाला इकडे याचा स्कोप आता विचार करता येईल, म्हणजे त्याचा विचार आपण वेगळ्या पद्धतीने करू, पण आम्हाला तिकडे याचा स्कोप हा काही या ठिकाणी उरलेला नाही. पण मला असं वाटतं की मी अंबादासजी कुठे असले तरी त्यांचा मूळ आत्मा हिंदुत्ववादी.
तर या गोष्टी थोड्या खेळीमेळीने आल्या त्यांच्या खेळीमेळीनेच घ्यायला पाहिजे.
Short break at this moment. On the other side, we'll shift focus to the digital arrest. A man was, in fact, pushed to the limit. He committed suicide. I'm bringing you that story and also how you can save yourself in the same situation.
Where are these headlines?
EP's big political statement says no coalition government, only AIDMK government in Tamil Nadu. Pune Posh case explodes, shocking excuses of the juvenile in the court. Drunk, fatal speeding, not heinous enough for the Juvenile Justice Board. MP Congress MLA's son runs over police. No arrest so far. Attempt to murder case, but the VIP son roams free. Rahul Gandhi takes on Himanta Biswa Sarma during his visit to Assam. Rahul Gandhi says Himanta will be jailed one day.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ.
But I'd like to start this off by asking you, Vishnu, what you think about the whole question of India not having stealth fighters right now.
It's a huge
Everyone's
problem.
trying to sell them to us as well.
It's a huge problem, Shiv. Let's face it, in as much as we love the Rafale aircraft and the Indian Air Force is completely vouching for it, perhaps they'd like more than 100 more. The Indian Navy has just gotten into an order for 26 Rafale M aircraft. There is a generation gap between the Rafale and the stealth. There is a good reason why a stealth platform is called a 5th generation aircraft and a Rafale is a 4th or 4.5 generation aircraft, and that is low observability. So in as much as the Rafale has brilliant sensors, both in terms of its radar, its defensive suite, its electronic warfare suite, it's towed at a decoy system. It is not typically a low observability platform in quite the same manner in which a stealth aircraft is. Its design form is different. And therefore, if Pakistan does have low observable aircraft, which would be the J-35, in fact, the first ones might even start entering service or coming into the PAF ahead of entering service at some time this year, then India is in trouble.
So
Why?
this year? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first could actually start coming in this year. They're really pushing for it. And they've gotten apparently into some agreement with the Chinese to ensure that the funding is done on very loose and terms favorable to Pakistan, as has been in the case in the past. If Pakistan starts acquiring low platforms which are low observable, in other words, stealth platforms, then that's an additional headache for the Indian Air Force, because tracking stealth aircraft requires a certain specialization. It's much more difficult. The time that you have to actually engage a potential stealth target is reduced greatly, and therefore, it's a problem.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
कहना इस दीवार पे इतने इश्तहार चिपके हैं कि कोई दरार नजर नहीं आती. मैं उन लोगों में से जो कहता हूँ सारे इश्तहार फाड़ के फेंको, पहले दरार को एड्रेस करो.
ये दरार इसलिए क्योंकि कुछ लेफ्ट कुछ राइट, पर हम उन मुद्दों में आपके साथ जिनसे आपकी फाइट है। डिजिटल से देश समझा, अब टीवी पर समाधान लाना है। आइए मेरे साथ खबरों की कचहरी में, सिर्फ एनडीटीवी पर।
The many digital arrests, many citizens, especially senior citizens, are facing this, losing, crores of rupees at the hands of fraudsters. In the latest one, a Bengaluru electricity supply company limited employee died by suicide after he allegedly was harassed by a man posed as a CBI officer and then threatened to arrest him. The man, identified as Kumar, left a handwritten note now describing how he was blackmailed, coerced into transferring 11 lakh rupees to several bank accounts. The man stated he was ending his life due to harassment and ill health. This is the latest example of what is known as digital arrest.
हेलो
राजेश जी, मैं पुलिस थाने से बोल रहा हूँ।
फिर से
आप डिजिटल अरेस्ट में हो, दूसरे कमरे में जाइए, अकेले। आपके पार्सल में ड्रग्स मिले हैं, लंबे जाएंगे। 10 लाख दीजिए, बच जाएंगे।
सर इतने कहां से?
एक लिंक भेजा है।
This is exactly how digital arrest scam works. Somebody calls you and then they are sitting on the other side wearing the uniform, trying to scare you into giving money. People have been in digital arrest for days, lost crores. Let me very quickly tell you all about this digital fraud. What is digital arrest? It's a new cyber fraud in which fraudsters pose as policemen on a video call. The scamsters threaten the victim with arrest. Victims are tricked into constant surveillance via Skype or other apps, which in fact they ask you to put your phone onto. Fake claims of criminal activities are made as far as these victims are concerned. They are trapped into video surveillance continuously, sometimes for days, till the time they pay the fraudsters. They use police station backgrounds, and fraudsters even send fake IDs to make the arrest seem real. The fraudsters deter victims from speaking to anyone till the time they are able to extort money out of you. And hundreds of times through ads, it's been explained that there is nothing, no agency in this country puts you in digital arrest. There is nothing called digital arrest as far as the law is concerned. The digital arrest menace has been big, and it has claimed many victims. In 2024 itself, 1.23 lakh cases of money which has been lost as far as this digital arrest is concerned. Nearly 2,000 crore rupees, in fact, have gone in 2025 in just first 2 months. 17,700 cases have been registered, and 210 crore rupees have been lost as far as this digital arrest is concerned. Now, very quickly, let me also at this moment go across to our guests, those who are joining us on the broadcast on this story. Let me go across to Rajinder Prasad, who himself is a victim of digital arrest. We are also being joined by former top cop DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Vikram Singh. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to us. Rajinder ji, सबसे पहले I just want to come to you. मैं आपसे सबसे पहले समझना चाहता हूं, आपके ऊपर भी ऐसी डिजिटल अरेस्ट की अटेम्प्ट हुई थी, क्या था पूरा एक्सपीरियंस, क्या हुआ था आपके साथ?
जून 24 में मेरे पास एक अननोन कॉल आया, और उस अननोन कॉल में उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि मैं ट्राई से बोल रहा हूं और आपका नंबर इलीगल एक्टिविटीज़ में इन्वॉल्व है और आपको बांद्रा कोलाबा पुलिस स्टेशन में आना होगा। मैंने उनको बोला कि मैं नोएडा रहने वाला हूं, कोलाबा स्टेशन पे नहीं पहुंच सकता। तो उन्होंने कहा कि आप जो यदि नहीं आ सकते हैं तो वीडियो कॉल पे आप मेरे साथ ज्वाइन होइए और आप कि हम जो कुछ भी हेल्प कर सकते हैं वो करेंगे। इन द मीन टाइम उन्होंने वीडियो कॉल स्टार्ट किया और मेरे साथ वीडियो चैट करना शुरू कर दिया। उन्होंने हमसे हमारा आधार कार्ड और पैन कार्ड उनके पास पहले से था, इसका नंबर भी उन्होंने मुझे कंफर्म किया कि ये नंबर आपके हैं। मैंने कहा हाँ जी हाँ मेरे हैं ये नंबर। तो आपके आधार कार्ड और पैन कार्ड से आपका नरेश गोयल जो आपके स्कैम है उसमें एक कैनरा बैंक का डेबिट कार्ड क्रेडिट कार्ड पाया गया है और उसमें आपका इलीगल ट्रांसफर 1 करोड़ रुपए का आपके अकाउंट में हुआ है।
राजेंद्र जी, मैं एक मिनट आपको बीच पे रोक के ये समझना चाहता हूं, जब ये पूरा प्रोसेस हो रहा था तो मतलब इतना जिस तरीके से वो लोग बैठे थे, बात कर रहे थे, आपको यकीन हो गया था कि ये सही लोग हैं, ये पुलिस वाले ही आपको फोन कर रहे हैं?
सर उस समय तक 5 मिनट तक मेरा जो प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड है या मेरे दिमाग में जो कुछ भी हो रहा था, मैं ये नहीं समझ पाया कि ये फेक है या एक्चुअल है। जब मेरे को कुछ थोड़ा समझ में आया और उन्होंने मुझको जब ये बोला कि आप 2 घंटे के लिए मेरे साथ रहेंगे, पानी की बोतल आप साथ में रखिएगा, आप अपना बैटरी बैंक चार्जर अपना साथ रखिएगा, क्योंकि आपको किसी दूसरे बंदे से बात करने की कोई भी परमिशन नहीं होगी। तो तब तक मैं बिल्कुल भी जो अपना प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड है वो अप्लाई नहीं कर पाया। उन्होंने पता नहीं मेरे साथ क्या किया कि मैं बिल्कुल इतना समझदार पढ़ा लिखा होने के बावजूद भी ये नहीं समझ पाया कि ये मेरे साथ फ्रॉड हो रहा है। इन द मीन टाइम वाइफ ने 1-2 बार मुझे दरवाजे से नॉक करके जब मुझको अलर्ट करना चाहा, तब उन्होंने फिर मुझे वार्न किया कि देखिए कोई आउटसाइडर आपके लिए अलाउड नहीं है और यदि आप ऐसा करेंगे तो आप मुसीबत में पड़ जाएंगे और मैंने नोएडा पुलिस स्टेशन में आपको अरेस्ट करने के लिए एक अपना मैसेज भेज दिया है, वो आपको तुरंत अरेस्ट कर लेंगे।
जी
जब तक
जी मैं 1 मिनट वापस आपके पास आ रहा हूं राजेंद्र जी। विक्रम सिंह सर, लेट मी आस्क यू दिस बिकॉज यू नो so much awareness now. There have been ads which go across as far as digital arrest is concerned, from the Prime Minister to almost every agency has come out and said that there is nothing called digital arrest as far as the Indian law is concerned. No agency is going to contact you over phone if they want to arrest you and can't put you on hold. Can I understand from you, despite that it is quite prevalent, what can people do to safeguard themselves?
Precisely. Good evening, Ankit ji, and good evening, Rajendra Prasad ji. This is one of the most well-calibrated, planned and executed subterfuge and loot. Please understand that in 200 years of banditry, the turnover of the dacoits was not more than 200 crores. Here, in just a few months, the Vietnamese, the Chinese and the Cambodian scamsters looted the nation of thousands and thousands of crores. Thousands and thousands of crores. And it is not only Mr. Rajendra Prasad ji who was cheated like this. I have also got an email and I'll show you, but first I will explain what to do. There are 3 ways of getting such messages. One is by an email, the other is by a WhatsApp, and the third is by a WhatsApp call, as probably Mr. Rajendra Prasad ji must have got. That is and the person on the other side is wearing a very impressive uniform, full PCAP, and a name, a very impressive sounding name, and also a thunderous voice. Then he tries to intimidate. Mr. Rajendra Prasad has explained it very well, that he was in a state of utter shock and he was absolutely numb. Therefore, he could not take appropriate decisions. Now, my advice to every countryman would be, treat this with great contempt, note down the numbers, report it to 1930 and to the cyber police station in case of Mr. Rajendra Prasad, to the cyber police station of Noida inside the police commissioner Noida's office. Then the next step would be to follow it up with a written complaint, and I'm sure nothing but refuse, I would say. Repeat, do not pay a single rupee to anyone. You are not the only one, Rajendra Prasad ji and fellow countrymen. You see, I'll show you one. I've also received an email that you are summoned by Kolaba Police Station, Mumbai, for misuse of email and indulging in the drug trade and things like that. And therefore, I treat it with the utmost contempt which is richly deserved and report it to 1930 and to the cyber police station.
Right.
Please don't take the bluff. Don't bite the bait.
Absolutely. That's one part of it. 1930, as in fact Vikram Singh ji is pointing out. Note down that number. Anybody who tries to call you, tells you anything else, these are all form of scam, of cyber fraud. Report them. Make sure that you report them. You can also go on to the portal for reporting national digital crimes, and can help the police nab such people. But राजेंद्र जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, कितने घंटों तक, कितने समय तक आप इस डिजिटल अरेस्ट में रहे? कब आपको लगा कि ये फ्रॉड हो रहा है और कैसे आप इससे बच पाए?
ये मुझे लगभग 10:30 बजे उनका मॉर्निंग में कॉल आया और मैं लगभग 2 बजे तक उनके साथ वीडियो कॉल पे डिजिटल अरेस्ट रहा, जब तक मुझे सेंसेस आते। और उन्होंने मुझे जब ये बताया कि आप इन्वॉल्व हैं 1 करोड़ की उसमें नरेश गोयल वाली स्कैम में, तब तक मुझे थोड़ा सेंसेस आना शुरू हुआ। और उन्होंने कहा कि आप अपने बैंक डिटेल्स मुझे दीजिए, तब मैं आपको बचा पाऊंगा, अदरवाइज आप यू विल बी अरेस्टेड। तो तब तक जब ये चीज़ हो रही थी, मैंने कहा बैंक डिटेल्स मेरे पास एज सच नहीं है और मुझे टाइम लगेगा और मेरे पास दूसरे कमरे में है और वाइफ जो है मेरे घर पे नहीं है। तो तब उन्होंने कहा मैं 2 घंटे बाद आपको फिर कॉल करूंगा और आप आधा घंटे में अपनी सुरक्षा और वेलफेयर के बारे में बताते रहिएगा, जिससे क्योंकि आपके ऊपर अटैक हो सकता है और आप जो है किसी मुसीबत में पड़ सकते हैं। तब तक जब मैं बाहर आया तब मुझे बिल्कुल एक होश आ गया। मैं बिल्कुल बेहोश हो गया था। मुझे होश आया कि मैं एक स्कैम में फंस गया हूँ और वाइफ ने मुझे एक वीडियो दिखाया। तब तक ये मैं पूरी तरह से समझ चुका था कि मेरे साथ
ये जो फियर साइकोसिस बनाकर लोगों से पैसा ऐंठने की कोशिश है, दैट इज व्हाट Rajendra ji is narrating, and that's very, very important. And as former DGP Mr. Vikram Singh just said, heed to his words very, very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. 1930. And you can also go to cybercrime.gov.in to report such people. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to me at this moment. With that, we are slipping into a very short break. We'll be back with much more on the other side. Stay tuned. TPS big political statement. TPS clarifies no coalition government, only AIDMK government in Tamil Nadu. Pune Porsche case explodes. Shocking excuses of the juvenile court. Drunk, fatal speeding, not heinous enough. MP Congress MLA's son runs over a cop. No arrest so far. Attempt to murder case registered, but VIP son roams free. Rahul Gandhi takes on Hemanta Biswa Sarma in Assam, says Hemanta will be jailed one day.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out.
Gold Plus Clear Glass. Far ho ya near, सब कुछ दिखे clear.
But I'd like to start this off by asking you, Vishnu, what you think about the whole question of India not having stealth fighters right now.
It's a huge
Everyone's
problem.
trying to sell them to us as well.
It's a huge problem, Shiv. Let's face it, in as much as we love the Rafale aircraft and the Indian Air Force is completely vouching for it, perhaps they'd like more than 100 more. The Indian Navy has just gotten into an order for 26 Rafale M aircraft. There is a generation gap between the Rafale and the stealth. There is a good reason why a stealth platform is called a 5th generation aircraft and a Rafale is a 4th or 4.5 generation aircraft, and that is low observability. So in as much as the Rafale has brilliant sensors, both in terms of its radar, its defensive suite, its electronic warfare suite, its towed array decoy system, it is not typically a low observability platform in quite the same manner in which a stealth aircraft is. Its design form is different. And therefore, if Pakistan does have low observable aircraft, which would be the J-35, in fact, the first ones might even start entering service or coming into the PAF ahead of entering service at some time this year, then India is in trouble.
So
Why?
this year? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first could actually start coming in this year. They're really pushing for it. And they've gotten apparently into some agreement with the Chinese to ensure that the funding is done on very loose and terms favorable to Pakistan, as has been in the case in the past. If Pakistan starts acquiring low platforms which are low observable, in other words, stealth platforms, then that's an additional headache for the Indian Air Force, because tracking stealth aircraft requires a certain specialization. It's much more difficult. The time that you have to actually engage a potential stealth target is reduced greatly, and therefore, it's a problem.
The stray dog menace is once again, the case is also in the Supreme Court, but the fact is that every single day there are common citizens, those who are suffering at the hands of the stray dogs, which highlights the fact how we are as a country, as society, as government, as municipality in trying to check this. These three visuals from Indore, from Mobali and from Chitradurga today in fact tell you the entire story. From Mobali, where a young girl was attacked, mauled on camera, to Chitradurga, where a 9-year-old was attacked while playing, and most recently in Indore, where a college student was on her way to give her exams, where she was attacked by these stray dogs. This has triggered panic and anger across the country as disturbing visuals surface and victims grow in number. Civic bodies have faced tough questions: who's accountable for India's for public safety as far as the stray dogs are concerned on the streets? Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has weighed in on the street dog debate, telling the petitioners who had gone to the court that if they want to feed stray dogs, they should do so inside their own homes. Don't make public spaces to be used for this, for this. The remark comes during a hearing on a plea seeking restrictions on stray dog feeding in the public spaces. The court emphasized balancing compassion with public safety is of utmost importance, once again reigniting the debate over the stray dogs and how people should, the government should in fact treat this. There is a question over the stray dog rights and then urban safety. Let's listen in to what the petitioner's advocate had to say.
It was argued on behalf of the petitioner that the petitioner, Reema Shah, is being harassed by RWA and local authorities for feeding stray dogs, which has been happening for last few years. And her complaints to the Noida police and local authorities were not entertained at all. In addition, the prayer was also made on behalf of the petitioner that directions may be issued to the RWA and local authorities for implementation of Rule 20 of Animal Birth Control Rules 2023.
So how big is India's stray dog problem? Let me very quickly give you some data as far as this is concerned. The estimated population is about 1.5 crores. The government says reduction of 10% between 2012 to 2019. The problem is because of inadequate sterilization and vaccination and unchecked breeding of stray dogs. Many people also abandon their pets, which also then result in this problem. Let's very quickly at this moment go across on this to discuss this further to Aura Bhandari. She is a founder of Tales of Tales, and I'm also being joined by Aditya Pratap. He's an advocate. Thank you so much to both of you for speaking to me here on NDTV. Mr. Pratap, let me understand this from you. The question is about balancing it. We have also seen cases of people attacking dog lovers or those who are feeding these strays. How do we get this balance, sir?
See, first and foremost, the law is supreme.
the law has to apply. Now, we talk about people feeding the strays. People who feed the strays, the so-called dog lovers, they think that they are doing, they are doing service for the dogs, etc. I straight away say that there are rules framed by the Animal Welfare Board of India, which pertains to designation of feeding spots for strays within a society. However, a lot of these so-called dog lovers, for them, stray dogs are their agents. Stray dogs are their agents to harass the public, because just as countries use proxies to harass other countries, these so-called dog lovers, they use stray dogs to show their power in the society. Now the point is,
Aditya, I understand your concern, but calm down. I mean, it's not that you are talking about terrorists. Don't use this kind of language that they are agents and so forth. Even the Supreme Court has clearly said that there needs to be a balance. Of course, as much as right as we human beings have on the planet, the other animals also do. You're right, there are guidelines, and those guidelines need to be followed. But the question is also on the civic agencies about the way, in fact, if they are failing in their duty, people also can't start harassing people just because they are feeding some strays.
See, any person, any dog lover who feeds strays in a legally non-designated feeding area, he is an accessory to public nuisance, and he is putting lives of his fellow citizens and building residents in danger.
Okay.
And the trouble is, and at this juncture, because moment you feed stray dogs in a non-designated area, you feed them in a children's garden, you feed them by the poolside, you are bringing dangerous animals as a pet in the vicinity of people.
Okay. And then, Ms. Bhandari, let me bring you in at this moment. Are the animal lovers, soft target as far as this anger is concerned? Though you can't discount the fact that when you see these visuals of stray dogs attacking people, innocent children, it is bound to anger people.
Okay, so let me start by correcting Mr. Advocate. While he says that the law is supreme, it's the Constitution which is supreme. And let me remind you that under a fundamental duty, Article 51 AG, it is my fundamental duty to have compassion for the living creatures. First. Secondly, the problem is not of people feeding the dogs. The debate is not about animal lovers versus haters. People who are feeding dogs are rather doing the society a service. A hungry animal is more a danger than one that is well fed. So while I agree that there should be designated points and the feeding should be done responsibly, the hate shouldn't be directed towards people who are doing the government's job in the first place, who are getting these dogs vaccinated, sterilized at their own expense. The question should rather be directed to the authorities, to the municipalities, as to why the animal birth control and the ABC programs over the years have been such a massive failure. Why is there such a huge population on the roads? And while, Ankit, you started with the statistics of the number of bites that have happened, is there any statistics as to how many animal abuse cases have happened? Do we try and understand the root cause as to why there are animals who are aggressive on the road? Why is there the human-animal conflict?
I absolutely agree with what you are saying. Nowhere I'm saying that, there are questions, and that is exactly why I was, in fact, asking Mr. Pratap as well, that it can't be, the anger can't be against the people, those who are feeding them. Yes, systems need to be put in place, but Aditya Pratap, shouldn't the question also be to the municipality? Instead of, going against the people, those who are feeding them, or, some places also trying to sterilize them and so forth, the question should be on the government and the municipality of what they are doing, instead of fighting over people, those who have some compassion to these animals.
See, first and foremost, I will first reply to what my learned friend said. She said fundamental duty. Let me tell you, right to life under Article 21 prevails over fundamental duties, and fundamental duties are not justiciable. Right to life is paramount, and the people's right to life is getting endangered here. Second, municipalities are under a statutory duty to act. We have the Municipal Corporation Acts, which give them power to control the population of stray dogs and even remove them. However, there is paralysis in that regard. Third, police have the power to act, and even under the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, even local magistrates are vested with powers to direct authorities to clear the public nuisance. Now, second part, I have handled several cases for housing societies in Bombay pertaining to stray dogs. And the so-called dog feeders cannot play the innocent victim card here. because these dog
अरे
feeders,
सर, but so-called का मतलब क्या है? वो तो they are feeders, so why are you calling them so-called? They are dog feeders. They are not saying that identifying themselves with some other name. Hold on.
For them, stray dogs are pseudo pets. If you want a stray dog, then you make him a pet. Take him into your own house. You go into the common areas, throw food there, and these people say they are doing the government's job. You're not doing government's job.
Why is the anger against those people? Why shouldn't there be a solution where designated spots should be made? The municipality and all those people that you have named, including the police and the magistrate, they should be brought in. So why target people rather than these officials?
No, first and foremost, you have to understand and appreciate that I have handled with exactly a similar case of a very big Navi Mumbai society, where the 6 or 7 dog feeders, they had become so vitriolic, they had become so litigious that even the municipal authorities and police authorities took a step back, and the Animal Welfare Board of India, unfortunately, literally was siding with the dog feeders. So, as the lawyer for the society residents, they approached the High Court seeking release that we want to treat them where we want. We argued before the Honorable High Court.
Let me give the last word to Ms. Bhani on this. I understand what you are saying. The concerns of the citizens are also very, very valid, Mr. Pratap, and I completely understand that. But it should not generate hate, towards the animal or towards people as well. But Ms. Bhandari, you also understand that.
They have right of private defense.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. He's right. The fact is that people, it can't be at the inconvenience of other people as well. The duty also of those who have compassion towards animals is to try and, in fact, to speak to the municipality, send some dogs for animal shelters and so forth. It just can't be that my right to feed and I don't give two hoots about anybody else.
Yes, sir. So first of all, yes, he's absolutely correct that Article 21 is foremost important. At the same time, the solution is not to monger hate. The solution is not violence. India is not built on those ethos. We will constantly fight within each other's, dividing us between animal haters and animal lovers, whether we should be collaborating and coming up with a solution. And secondly, I would like to agree with what Supreme Court said, but with a slight twist, that, we would very happily take the dogs to our homes to feed when there are stricter laws against illegal breeding, so that promotion of indie breeds is there, right? So yes, there has to be a common solution, and directing this hate towards community feeders is going to bring no solution.
I agree with that, and I think the first step to any kind of solution, there are examples like in Netherlands and other countries have examples. The first, in fact, step to the solution is conversation, rather than litigation or labeling each other with certain tags as far as this problem is concerned. I'm sorry, I'm completely out of time on this. I will have to leave it there. Thank you so much to both of you for taking the time out, and we will continue this debate and this discussion on NDTV because this is a public interest story, and whenever it's in interest of the public, we always want to bring your voice out because that matters to us. I leave you with India's voice as India speaks on NDTV on this story.
I think it's a bit unfair both to the volunteer as well as the the animals that they have to go somewhere for food. That will create a different kind of a problem. Imagine 50 dogs converging on one residence to be fed. Well-fed strays are better than hungry strays.
We should effectively implement this control, birth control for all the streeties or street dogs or that community people.
We can't entirely blame it on the animal. It's also our responsibility to make sure that the dog is vaccinated and he's trained. There is no other way but to coexist.
Problem is failure of authorities, that they are not doing their job well. If they make separate feeding areas for dogs, sterilize them on time and vaccinate them. So I don't think it's a big problem and we have to worry about the aggression from dogs.
हमारे यहाँ पे सामने स्ट्रीट डॉग्स को खाना खिलाने के लिए स्पॉट बनाया गया है, लेकिन लोग क्या करते हैं कि पुण्य कमाने के चक्कर में घर के सामने ही या जहाँ पे भी कॉमन एरिया है वहीं पे खाना खिलाते हैं लोग। रूल को फॉलो नहीं करते हैं।
जो लोग कुत्तों को मतलब पसंद करते हैं, डॉग लवर्स हैं, वो सभी लोग खाना छुप छुप के कुत्तों को खिलाते हैं सोसाइटी में। कई बार ये खतरे के जैसा हो जाता है और बच्चे हैं वो पार्किंग में घूम रहे हैं कभी या प्लेग्राउंड में हैं तो वहाँ कुत्तों का अटैक उन पर हुआ है। सोसाइटी में ऐसी बहुत सी घटनाएं भी हो चुकी हैं।
बेसमेंट में मैं बगैर स्ट्रिक के नहीं जा सकता। अगर किसी की गाड़ी है बेसमेंट में पार्किंग है तो बगैर डंडे के हम लोग नहीं जाते हैं, इतना डर है।
कम्युनिटी डॉग्स की जिम्मेदारी होती है मेंटेनेंस, AOA, RWA इनकी होती है, फीडिंग की, स्टेरिलाइजेशन की, जो जिम्मेदारी हम निभा रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं भी इसको फेवर में नहीं हूँ कि जहाँ मर्जी आप फीड करा दो। एक एरिया होना चाहिए, फीडिंग पॉइंट होने चाहिए। ये कम्युनिटी डॉग हैं, सबके लिए जैसे हम रह रहे हैं सबका हक है इनका रहने का भी।
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
But I'd like to start this off by asking you, Vishnu, what you think about the whole question of India not having stealth fighters right now.
It's a huge
Everyone's
problem.
trying to sell them to us as well.
It's a huge problem, Shiv. Let's face it, in as much as we love the Rafale aircraft and the Indian Air Force is completely vouching for it, perhaps they'd like more than 100 more. The Indian Navy has just gotten into an order for 26 Rafale M aircraft. There is a generation gap between the Rafale and the stealth. There is a good reason why a stealth platform is called a 5th generation aircraft and a Rafale is a 4th or 4.5 generation aircraft, and that is low observability. So in as much as the Rafale has brilliant sensors, both in terms of its radar, its defensive suite, its electronic warfare suite, its towed array decoy system, it is not typically a low observability platform in quite the same manner in which a stealth aircraft is. Its design form is different. And therefore, if Pakistan does have low observable aircraft, which would be the J-35, in fact, the first ones might even start entering service or coming into the PAF ahead of entering service at some time this year, then India is in trouble.
So
Why?
this year? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first could actually start coming in this year. They're really pushing for it. And they've gotten apparently into some agreement with the Chinese to ensure that the funding is done on very loose and terms favorable to Pakistan, as has been in the case in the past. If Pakistan starts acquiring low platforms which are low observable, in other words, stealth platforms, then that's an additional headache for the Indian Air Force, because tracking stealth aircraft requires a certain specialization. It's much more difficult. The time that you have to actually engage a potential stealth target is reduced greatly, and therefore, it's a problem.
जनता के पास सवाल ही सवाल है। जवाब ढूंढने को वो देखती है न्यूज़ और देखती है यहाँ तो सवालों का मायाजाल है। ऊपर से ये अलग फाइट है, कोई पूरा लेफ्ट तो कोई पूरा राइट है। बीच में मुद्दे के साथ कौन है, जनता को जवाब चाहिए। इसीलिए सवालों की परेड नहीं, मैं लाऊंगा खबरों की कचहरी। मैं शुभांकर मिश्रा, मेरे साथ देखिए कचहरी रात 8 बजे सिर्फ NDTV इंडिया पर।
Some say sport is a matter of life and death. The truth is, it is far more serious than that. Sport is about ecstasy and agony, about pain and suffering, about joy and much more. Some say there's no one better to tell these stories. So here I am. Join me, Boria Majumdar, on India's #1 news network.
कोई जरूरत तो उसको इंटरव्यू देने की।
गायकवाड़ साहब ऐसे मत कीजिए।
लोग देख रहे हैं तो कर रहा है, लोग देख रहे हैं।